Hi guys, this is Mara at the Reading Hedgehog doing her first video book review. And I'm actually going to start trying to do video reviews to coincide with the written reviews I have on my blog, because I write reviews for all the books I review. But I know there might be some of you that don't like reading reviews, so I'm going to try to do not too detailed of video reviews, but detailed enough that you don't have to read my review. I don't know how often I'm actually going to end up doing this. I will try to do it with all the books, but I can't guarantee that actually will because I'm a horrible blogger or a vlogger and just run out of time. But anyway, so the first book I am presenting to you guys is The Spy Catchers of Maple Hill by Megan Frazer Blakemore. It's a brand new middle grade historical fiction mystery book. It just came out May 6th. And this is an arc I read. I got to read an arc, very exciting. And to give you guys an idea of what it's about, because I'm bad at summing books up myself, I'm just going to read the inside flap for you guys, and then we'll get into the review. And I'll try not to give spoilers. So, what it is about. Hazel Kaplansky is a firm believer in the pursuit of knowledge and truth, and she also happens to love a good mystery. When suspicions begin to swirl about a Russian spy has infiltrated her small town of Maple Hill, Vermont, amidst the fervor of Cold War-era McCarthyism, Hazel knows it's up to her to find a suspect, starting with Mr. Jones, the quietly suspicious gravedigger. Plus, she's found a perfect sleuthing partner in Samuel Butler, the new boy in school with a few secrets of his own. As Hazel and Samuel piece together clues from the past and present, the truth is suddenly not what they expected, and what they find reveals more about themselves and the people of their cozy little town than they could ever have imagined. So, to be quite honest, this book did not have a point. If it wasn't for the protagonist, Hazel, I would not have liked it as much as I did. But Hazel is just so full of character, and she's so funny and sarcastic and intelligent, even though she jumps to a lot of conclusions, and makes a lot of decisions that you just kind of want to slap her for. I just really enjoyed following her along. And I also really loved how much of a Nancy Drew fan she was, because at that age I loved Nancy Drew. And I imagined myself as kind of a young sleuth at that age too. So maybe if you don't relate to Hazel, you wouldn't like the book as much as I did. The writing was very good. I mean, it fit the intended age group. It was third person past tense, so nothing to complain about there. All the other characters in the book, I mean, they all have personalities. They're all well developed. I don't really remember much about them though. Yeah, I just don't. That doesn't mean they weren't good characters. They were. This is kind of a middle grade book that teens and adults probably would enjoy more than the intended audience, because it does talk a lot about the politics that were going around that time, and just because it doesn't have much of a point, it's more kind of a day-to-day life story and about kind of people living in that era, and especially people that are like of Polish descent or Russian or Chinese, kind of how they were treated and all that. I definitely think it would appeal more to adults who like those kind of stories. I mean, most middle graders aren't gonna care about what happened during this time period. They're just gonna care about the mystery, and spoiler, the mystery doesn't go anywhere. There is no mystery. Hazel kind of makes all of it up and learns a bitter lesson the hard way. But it has a good ending still. The thing that kind of caught my attention was some of the things the author said in the historical note. As a lot of you know, I'm a real stickler about historical facts and talking about stuff the way it was and not pushing agenda. And I won't accuse the author of pushing agenda exactly. But in her author's note, she kind of paints communism as something that's never really actually been tried by the right people. That communism is actually kind of good, but then you have, dictators that just kind of come along and ruin it. But communism itself really isn't that bad. And I'm sorry, that's not true. It simply isn't. Communism has been tried. It doesn't work. That's the whole point. It isn't that it hasn't just been tried by the right people. It doesn't work. Not in this world. And to be quite honest, I really don't know too much about McCarthy himself, which I'm ashamed of. So in terms of that, I can't really criticize the author in her portrayal and what she says of him, because it could be true, it could not, I'm not sure. I tend to think she demonizes a bit more than what is actually true, but I don't know, so I will not complain about that. But overall, I gave this book 3 out of 5 strawberries. I liked it. It was an enjoyable read. Hazel totally made it what it was. It had some interesting stuff. I loved all the references to Nancy Drew and just kind of the literature and pop culture of that time period. It has some great wit in it. The author really captured the time period. And while I have issues with her author's note, the book itself presented things very fairly. Just the author's note I had an issue with. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I would recommend this for girls and boys. The intended age group is, let me look for a minute, because I did not memorize it. I should have, but I didn't, and the back of this doesn't say. But middle grade. I would recommend it more for maybe 15 and up. If you're looking for a great, historical fiction that kind of addresses day-to-day life in a time period, in this case Cold War, this is a great pick, especially if you're an adult that likes these kind of things. I'm gonna end up buying it eventually, hopefully next month, if I have money for it. But yes, that is all I have to say about it. My review on my blog is much more detailed. I'll link it below so you can go read that if you want. And let me know if you've read this, or if you plan on reading it, or just have questions. I'd love to hear back from you guys about it.